Let's start. Okay, so after a very long time, okay, we are discussing this virtualization. So one of my very favorite subject it is. First of all, what is virtualization? Then types of virtualization. Next, what is virtual machine? Okay, and what are the different hypervisors? Also, we'll see, guys. It will take actually it is 2-3 hours to explain. We'll try very simple ways. Just these are all I'm giving, just in case you got a question in interview. Okay, what is virtualization? Create a software-based or virtual representation of something like application, server, storage, or network to reduce IT expenses while boosting efficiency and agility. But simple point is that underlying point. It is a software-based or virtual representation, okay, of like a server. Server means it's a virtual machine. Application virtualization. Storage virtualization. Network virtualization. So physical and existing physical one is there, but this is virtual representation. Virtual representation of server means a virtual machine. Virtual representation of an application. Okay, so like that, it is software based or virtual representation of application, server, storage, and network. So virtualization. Okay, virtual adapter, virtual network adapter, virtual router. Okay, virtual storage. Yes, virtual hard disk also there. Virtual hard disk concept is there. Okay, as what is this virtual? It is a does not have any physical, direct physical binding is not there. Physical resource, physical components are not there. But it used is your physical components only. Okay, like I have virtual hard disk. It's act like a hard disk to store your data. But similarly, that virtual hard disk utilize your actual physical hard disk space only. Okay, so understand. This is what is virtualization. What is the advantage of virtualization? It reduces buying a costly equipment. It means using virtualization instead of buying a several physical systems to you can reduce number of physical systems for your requirements because the physical system you are not able to use fullest. By using virtualization, you can run your applications, storage, network things with a single system only. So better IT resource utilization increases. So virtualization can increase IT agility, flexibility, scalability while creating significant cost saving. Agility. So the requirement changes. We can easily adopt requirement. New machine is required. No need to buy a new physical machine. You can create a virtual machine, make it as a specific service server purposes. Flexibility. We can run this virtual machine in any host parallelly. Scalability, number of systems you can run, add it, load balancing it, failover also. Greater workload mobility, increased performance, availability for resources, automation, operation. Okay. So by virtualization, we can create our own software-defined data centers. It simplify your data center management. Okay. Business, greater for business continuity and disaster recovery, faster provisioning of applications and resources. So I need a virtual web server. Simply create a virtual machine, install OS, and install the web server application. and make it as a web server. Simple. You want to buy a hardware, like buying a license or giving a space, power supply. These are all more headache for whenever you are adding more new systems to your existing infrastructure. But by using a virtualization, no need to buy anything separately until unless it is required. So you can run a single, multiple virtual machines and a single physical machines itself. So to minimize or eliminate downtimes, reduce capital and operating cost also. We know the what is capital and operating cost. Yeah. What are the types of virtualization? So for us, it is important server virtualization, desktop virtualization, network virtualization, application virtualization, storage virtualization. Other than these five virtualization, there is two more virtualizations are there: user state virtualization and presentation virtualizations. Out of it, so I will going to discuss about a server virtualization. In operating systems and as well as the servers and services, I said about this server virtualization. What is server virtualization? Just you are enable multiple operating system to run on single physical server as highly efficient virtual machines. Simply say, running a multiple operating system on single physical machine as a virtual machines means there is a one physical machine and multiple virtual machines with a different operating systems, multiple operating systems, not a different, any operating system we can run. And you can run different applications in it. You see this diagram, guys. What is this diagram? Traditional and virtual architecture means you take a server, a physical server, and you install operating system and you run an applications. So for example, you're running a web application, it is become web server. Okay, only one application, similar kind of only same application we are running, right? Not a same application you can run in a separate way. Okay, separate purposes. But here in the virtualization architecture, you can run different similar application or different applications separately in the different virtual machines. Okay, so there is a physical hardware. On the physical hardware, we install a virtualization layer. Using this virtualization, we can create multiple virtual machines. In these machines, you can install what OS is required to be installed, install it, and run your applications. Like here in the first one, I can make one single web server, but here it is, I can run multiple web server on a single machine itself. So that's the point of virtualization, server virtualization. Of course, there is a benefits, almost all benefits. Just read it. You will get it. In this one, in this picture, so is your machine support for virtualization or not? I'm running my virtual machines. Okay, I'm running my virtual machines. So is it machine is supporting to run any virtualization support is there or not? Like you want to run a Docker container or maybe a physical virtual machine you want to run it. This is supporting. Go to Task Manager, click on a Performance, click on CPU. See the virtualization showing Enable. It meaning is my system can run 60, any 60, okay, can run 64-bit virtual machines. I can create and run the 64-bit virtual machines on my laptop, my desk system. Even though it is a server system, a desktop or laptop, you have to check the CPU having this virtualization technology feature and it should be enabled in a BIOS. If it is showing disabled, means what to do? You have to go to the BIOS, find out where is the virtualization technology and change it. Okay, you have to go to BIOS and make it over. Okay, this is about your server virtualization and architecture. and some are points. So you can create and run multiple computer operating system and single physical server. Host servers share resources with all the virtual machines. One single physical machine, you're running a multiple virtual machines means your physical server or physical machine is share its resources like CPU, RAM, storages, network, share to all the other virtual machines. Okay. Allow you to detach a computer hosting a service or role from the hardware on which it is done. So you're running a virtual machine that is not physically attached to your physical machines. It is a detaching mode, means decoupling mode. So you can run this. You're running a virtual machine, one physical machine. Okay. So you can move this virtual machine from one physical to another physical machine also. Okay. So like that. So that is a flexibility is increases with the virtualization. Almost all server workloads can run on the virtual machines. On a virtual machines, you can make a virtual machine on any kind of server things. Okay. Use server virtualization to reduce number of physically deployed servers. In the server virtualization, you can run multiple virtual machines. So for each time a new machine is required, no need to buy a new physical machines. You can use your existing physical machine, virtualization platform, install the virtualization platform, create a virtual machines. So then can we can run different machines. We can utilize your physical server utilization at fullest. Optimize resource utilization increases. Guys, I said you take a physical machine and then you can run multiple virtual machines in it. To do that one, you have to install a hypervisor in your physical machine directly. There is certain hypervisors we can directly install on the physical machine, just like how we install OS. So similarly, you can also install these hypervisors in a direct physical machine. The machine not required any OS inside. No OS. It is just a, you're installing hypervisor on the physical hardware directly. Okay, just like how we install a OS, just like OS you're installing. So what is this hypervisors? Is virtualization platforms. The hypervisors virtualize your hardware. It creates hypervisors, partition your resources, and allocate those partitions to virtual machines. For example, I'm running 4 virtual machines. So it will cut some part of in my CPU and give that virtual CPU, make it as a virtual CPU and give it to the physical virtual machines. Now I remove 2 of the virtual machines, so no problem. It's okay. So I can still running two. No, it's like that partition means not a physically cut. It create a partitions in your physical resources, allocate those partitions to your virtual machines itself. That's a use of hypervisor. Create and run virtual machines. Hypervisor decouples or detach virtual machine from physical machine. Hypervisor is a firmware which creates virtual resources to create and run virtual machine on the physical machines. So it's act like a firmware for your virtual machines. And there is a concept of loosely coupled, decoupled, detached. Means the virtual machine is not fixed to your physical machine. So you can move your virtual machine from one physical machine to any other physical machine, including you can move your virtual machine from your physical machine to a simple external hard disk also you can copy. Okay. That is a hypervisor. Hypervisor is a virtualization platform. It is helps you to create and run the virtual machines. Okay. Next. In this hypervisor, as I said, we can install into a physical machine, right? So what are these hypervisors? from VMware, ESXi or vSphere. ESXi is actually hypervisor. vSphere is a total product, total client and ESXi hypervisor. Combine it is vSphere. vSphere is like a client product it is. So ESXi or vSphere. Okay, the latest version I have written is 8. Of course, last time I checked it is 8 only. Okay, so that is we are from VMware. ESXi is a hypervisor. From Microsoft, Hyper-V is a hypervisor. From Citrix, Zen Server is an hypervisor. From Proximox, Proximox V is a hypervisor. From Red Hat, Red Hat EV is a hypervisor. Red Hat Enterprise Virtualization. Enterprise Virtualization. Certain hypervisors comes with along with your operating system. You install your operating system, but this operating system has a certain built-in roles or features. So it will help to create and run your virtual machine. So there's a built-in hypervisor with your operating system also there. Example from Microsoft Hyper-V. Okay, Microsoft Hyper-V also come with the OSs like Windows Server 2008, 64-bit, 2008 R2, 2012, 2000 R2, 2016, 2019, 2022, 2025 also there. So these are all versions are having a built-in hypervisor role. By installing this hypervisor role and configure it, so using this hypervisor in your server OSs, you can create and run virtual machines. And hypervisor also available in desktop versions of Windows like Windows 8, 8.1, Windows 10, Windows 11, Pro and Enterprise editions, 64 systems. 64-bit system, Hyper-V is available as a Microsoft Windows feature. By installing and configuring, so you can create and run virtual machines on the Hyper-V. If your Windows desktop version is Home Edition, you can't get it. You can't get this Hyper-V feature. KVM, QEMU, other virtualization platform generally available in Linux systems. Okay, from Linux 6, Red Hat Enterprise Linux or Enterprise Linux 6 onwards, this virtualization platform is available. Okay, the type 1 virtualization. What is this type 1 virtualizations? The virtualization platform we can directly install on the hardware. So that type of hypervisors we call it as type 1 virtualizations. It's a bare metal virtualization, means directly install on the hardware, not as an application. This type of hypervisors used for server virtualization purpose, provide centralized access. VMs in the server can access from network. I have a virtual machine in my laptop. So who can able to access that one? I can access. If someone wants some request, then they can access. But still right now it is not a centralized one. So then everybody can able to access directly. The virtual machines can access directly. Okay, that is type. Type 2. Hypervisor applications we are using. In a type 2 virtualization, we use hypervisor applications. Okay, these applications directly we install on the physical machines. Physical machines, OS directly we are installing. Like I'm using Windows operating system. For example, my OS is Home Edition. So I don't have a Hyper-V, but I need a virtualization in my laptop. So you can download, install this hypervisor applications. Of course, it is not available, but it is not available. Sorry, mistake. Sir, my mistake. I'm getting, excuse me. Sorry, guys. It's isolation. Means as I said, guys, if I have a virtual machine in my laptop, means it's in my laptop. It's not for centralized access, centralized creation, centralized settings or modifications, not there. Hypervisor applications from VMware Workstation, VMware Player is there earlier. Now the player is now they are trying to remove because VMware Workstation is earlier. It's a paid version. So for a free, they given a player. Okay, the license is Workstation is licensed one. Player is free. But now they change it like a VMware Workstation is free for personal use. Okay, pay license version is for organizational use purpose. So when you download a VMware workstation from VMware website or so that's VMware now it is sold to Broadcom company. So it's now VMware is under Broadcom company. VMware is a company, now it is under Broadcom company. So the Broadcom login is required to download. Okay. So you download the VMware workstation. When installing VMware workstation, you have to select use for personal use. Then it is a become free automatically. Next is Oracle VirtualBox. What is this Oracle VirtualBox? It is from Oracle. Directly you can type Oracle VirtualBox. You got a link. You can download this box. It is free. No need of login license. Not required here. Okay. So you can use these applications to create and run the virtual machine in your physical machine. It is utilize your physical resources, both CPU, RAM, and storage network also while it is running. While it is running, I have virtual machines. Right now, it is not running. Meaning is it not utilizing my CPU, RAM, and network resources. But storage resources, it is already occupied. It in my hard disk. Okay, if I delete this virtual machine, so the storage will be clear. If I'm running the virtual machine means it is utilizing my CPU, RAM, storage, of course, network also. Okay, you can use these applications to create your own virtual machines. If you want, there is a recorded videos how to download Windows 10, how to create a virtual machine in the VMware workstations, how to install the Windows 10 in this one, how to run it. So all these things are available. So try once you become a free, not now. Okay, not now. So once you become all completions, you got a time, more free time. So your voice and accent also completed. Now you got a lot of time. Then you can try. Okay. Learn. You can learn from our channel itself. Lot of things are available. Right. Okay. So type 1, type 2 virtualization. In type 1 virtualization, see guys, so direct hardware installed with a hypervisor directly and running a guest 1, guest 2 means guest OSs in the different virtual machines. Certain type 1 hypervisors directly installed on the hardware. Okay. Only it's a pure hypervisor. Some are comes with an operating system like Windows 10 or Windows 11. I have a Pro edition. I got a hypervisor. Okay. So I have an operating system and my own operating system is there, Windows 10 Pro. That is my OS or Windows 11 Pro. That's my guest OS, host OS. Okay. That's my host OS. What is a guest OS is virtual machine content OS. It's a guest OS. Type 2. So hardware, install operating system, then you install a hypervisor application. Using this hypervisor application, you creating virtual machines. That's it. Okay. So what is this diagram? This is a centralized virtualization server. We created a virtual machines. So there is a desktop system is there. Desktop means normal regular desktop system. We log into the hypervisor using hypervisor client tools. Okay. Once you log in and you can create and manage these virtual machines. Okay. We can create and run and manage the virtual machines. But how you access the virtual machine? That virtual machine related remote tools. For example, machine is VMware. Machine is the virtual machine is Windows system. Use remote desktop tool. If the virtual machine is Linux, so then we access the Linux using SSH or Telnet kind of stuff. Okay, so that is remote access kind of stuff. So yeah, this is about your virtualization. Yeah, desktop virtualization will define in different places in different ways. But why I'm telling this one, because they are asking a simple, a common question, guys. The virtual machine is a kind of common nowadays, a general question it is. Okay, so to make it so simple kind of answer, I put it in a Google. Gemini gave me one answer, and I read that answer. It is look fine for me, so we can take this answer. What is answer I told in starting itself? Virtual machine is a software-based or virtual version of physical computer that runs on your physical machine. It runs on your physical machines. Act as a separate computers. Whatever I am running in this virtual machine, okay, this is also Windows 10 machine, right? If I run an application in this virtual machine, it does not affect on my physical machine. It's separate. Okay. It emulates hardware, allowing to run its own operating system applications independently, isolated from host system or any other PC. So what are the application I'm running here? What are the settings I've done in this machine does not affect on another virtual machine. It's isolated from my physical machine or any other physical machines. And one virtual machine to another machine also it is isolated. Okay, isolated. So it does not affect on other machines. It make it is possible to run multiple operating system on single physical server to improving resource utilization and providing benefits like isolation for testing, running different applications. Guys, my RAM capacity is 16 GB RAM capacity. Why I took a 16 GB RAM capacity to run virtual machine? For example, I have some Linux class. So for that one, should I go to buy a one machine and install the Linux operating system and T? Difficult, right? I have to carry two systems. So sometimes I work from home, sometimes I work from office. So I need a two system to me. After a few days, again I have a Windows desktop, Windows server is required. Means two more systems I need. It's allowing with my laptop. So three systems I have to carry. And after a few days, again this storage class is came up. Then storage application running purpose separate system. So how many systems I have to carry every day? Okay. For you, it is not, I'm not utilizing, I'm only use one or two system, only voice ticket, this system I used it, voice ticket system I used it for voice ticketing purpose. Okay. And Windows 10 for a IP address testing purpose. Okay. So sometimes I need more machines to run. How many machines I have to carry? How many systems I have to buy? Set up, right? So now it is not required because my utilization for each machine is very less, 1 GB, 2 GB RAM, somewhat storage like 20 GB, 30 GB storage. That is available in my physical machine. So I can create and run this virtual machine. Okay. So that is what it is, virtual machine. Also run, also read this, even cloud computing also, what are the things we are created as a virtual machine. That EC2 instant is nothing but a virtual machine. Okay. Use it for a different purposes, software testing purpose, running incompatible software. I have a application, that's application, it's not running here. For example, voice ticket, for running voice ticket software, directly won't run on a Windows system. So I have to run on the separate server, like a LAMP server, Linux Apache web server is required. A backend MySQL application is required to run this application. It's better easy to run on the Linux machine. And that to Linux will take very less resources. Easy to configure and run it. So this not compatible in my physical machine. I will run on my virtual machine. Okay. So different kind of stuff we are using. Okay. So read once what is virtual machines and also go through all the previously asked questions. Any question, doubt, you can put it in a WhatsApp group. Don't send personal any message to my personal box. Okay. So put in the group and I will give you an answer. I or anyone in the group can give you an answer, guys. Okay. So check with what is BIOS settings and everything. It's all up to you only, guys. And also tell others who those who are not attended what they have to do with also. Okay. If possible, we'll meet you tomorrow. In case if more members are available tomorrow, I will discuss tomorrow anything left or like THCP, DNS and ITL or questions, anything your wish. Okay. Any doubts, guys? Questions?